Are you having trouble getting your little one excited about reading? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk all about the benefits of multisensory play as it pairs with reading. We're going to share 5 tips and teach you how you can use multisensory play to enhance your child's literacy development.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Annie.
And we are the founders and educators behind Elemento Play, a book club subscription designed to bring books to life and help children fall in love with reading through play.
Great.
Great job, Rach.
Nice.
Okay, so now let's start the video.
Multisensory learning means the kind of learning that involves many different areas of your brain. It's when you take in different kinds of information using all of your senses. You can learn tactily with your fingers, orally with your ears, visually with your eyes, kinesthetically with your whole body. When children and adults too learn in a multisensory way, they create more synapses in their brain, making it easier to recall information. It makes it easier to have a stronger memory of an experience. Multisensory learning is brilliant for different kinds of learners so that they can learn in the way that best suits them. And finally, and probably most importantly, multisensory learning is fun. Kids love to have fun. They learn best when they're joyful. And what is more joyful than play? So let's jump into 5 ways that you can use multisensory learning to make reading even more engaging for your child.
All right, the first way we're going to share is wrap it like a present. When books feel like presents, children attach themselves with more anticipation and excitement to the experience of reading a new book. That's why here at Elemento Play, when we send a book club, we address it to the child and fill it with pom-poms so that children get excited to unpackage their very own present and come to see the book as exactly what it is. We used to teach classes in person. We would always introduce the beginning of our book club with our book of the day wrapped up in our present. This is our version of a wrapping paper, of course with a question mark on it to get the kids excited about what's inside, but to really show the value that is inside of this package, which again is just a book, but as we know, it's the key to everything. And so whether you use a homemade cloth bag and have your child reach in, maybe you're gonna have it personalized, bring out the book, or of course, if you don't have a special bag like that, you can do something as simple as taking a pillowcase,
Pop it in.
I think it's all just about making it exciting for your child, choosing colors, choosing things that you know are going to get them excited. And again, just sending the message that a book is a present. It's a treasure to be enjoyed.
I love it when we take some of the old books and wrap them up and put them back on the shelf. So your child might be in the bath and come to bed and see on their bookshelf that there's a book wrapped up. I think it's such a wonderful way to remind your child there is excitement. There's an adventure inside this book. All right, tip number 2, hand your child the book. If I read a book to Rachel like this, it would be interesting, exciting for her. It's a beautiful book, but she's not really touching it with her fingers. She's not really owning the experience. Children live in the here and now. They like to be very present. They like to have their hands on everything that they do. So when we go from me holding the book and reading it to Rachel and her holding it, all of a sudden the reading, whatever reading means at the age of your child, is hers. She's using her fingers to turn the pages. That's another kind of multi-sensory learning. Maybe she'll use her fingers to point to different details in the pictures, or even to take, Rachel, would you like to take the dust jacket off of the book and see what's underneath? You might not know.
Oh, I definitely did not know that.
There's a little surprise inside the dust jacket. You didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
But you see the excitement? Rachel, do you feel like discovering that for yourself and turning the pages made the book feel more like it was yours?
I really did. And now I'm in a position, like you said, to kind of own my experience. Oftentimes, parents will say like, I'm not ready, don't turn the page yet. But you know what? Follow your child's lead. Let them kind of experience it the way that they want to, because it may come out to be more meaningful in the end as well. Tip number 3 is choose interactive books. We know it can be tricky to find books that your children are interested in, but we know for sure that a guaranteed way to get your child really deeply involved in that kind of meaningful, multisensory way is by choosing books that just by their very nature invite the type of engagement that's going to really captivate your child. So we're going to go through a couple different categories of those that you may feel best fit your child depending on age, depending on interest, and it just might give you a different way to look at books when you're thinking about which ones to choose and when.
So we're gonna start with some board books. These are the simplest kinds of books, but there's little surprises. You can engage with them physically. You can touch the book. These are your kind of lift the flap books, books where something happens and moves. Your child can engage and turn the pages. This is one we really love, where the children are asked to physically tap the tree with their fingers, making leaves appear on the next pages.
So they're literally physically involved with the telling of the story and making, again, those really concrete connections.
Yeah.
So another great thing about interactive books are ones that allow for repetition in the story. So whether it's we're going on a bear hunt, or here we've got not a box that is over and over, the rabbit will repeat, "This is not a box." And children really enjoy being able to put themselves in that position. Like, how do you think the rabbit's feeling when over and over they have to continue to say, "It's not a box"?
And it also makes your child feel like they're reading, right? They remember that refrain and keep saying it. And you can actually say to them, "Wow, thank you for reading that with me."
Yeah, they're participating in the telling of the story, again, in that auditory way. Same with We Love Roll, Roll, Little Pea, basically the story of a runaway pea. And on each page, the refrain repeats, "Roll, roll, little pea." You see it go, and then there's going to be an animal there. So again, being able to be really participatory in the experience of reading allows your child to connect and make those concrete moments and memories.
Our last one is probably my favorite. We call this one breaking the fourth wall. This tip is choose books that invite your little ones to actually feel like they're participating in the story. I'll give you an example. This, Mo Williams is brilliant. This book, Don't Let the Pigeon Stay Up Late, begins with one of the characters saying, "Can you do me a favor? Can you, the reader, watch this pigeon and make sure that he doesn't stay up too late?" So this kind of book that actually calls your child right into the pages, makes them feel like they're participating inside of the story. Because all of this is about helping your little one, helping your child feel like they're engaged, they're excited about being part of a story, they're excited about touching and turning pages, they're excited about using their voice to call and repeat. All of it's about having your child feel like the experience of literacy is fully engaging and owned by them.
Tip number 4 is act it out. It may seem like the simplest and most obvious of things to do, but sometimes we don't really make the space and the time for it. When your children are hearing auditorily the words that are associated with the book and looking at the pictures and then able to literally stand up and put themselves into the action of the story, they're just gonna make all of those more meaningful connections because they're involved in so deeply a whole body way. Sometimes people think reading is just about decoding, literally learning how to read the words on the page. But it is so much more than that. And then to really have that understanding of whether it's character development or sequencing, beginning, middle, and end, when they are involved in this full body way of a story, they're just gonna latch onto it so much more. One of our all-time favorites is No Fitz Nilsson,
which is all about feeling angry and frustrated, but then learning kind of how to handle those big feelings. There's a scene in which Nilsson gets really upset because their block building gets knocked down, and he says, "Guard!" He throws a huge tantrum. When we teach this in person in classes, we invite children to look at Nilsson's face, see if they can make their face like Nilsson, see if they can throw a tantrum and pretend like that. Want to try it?
Sure. Let me take a peek.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's see, Rachel. Let's see you have a tantrum. Yeah, there we go. You get the idea. It's funny and it's fun, but you know what? It's also kind of cathartic and amazing. Better. Because little kids often have really big feelings that can even feel scary because they're a lot to handle. Books can be cathartic. When children immerse themselves in the action and connect with the story, books can help them to feel more connected to big things and big feelings in their own lives. Tip 5. It's all about incorporating related materials from the book into your play. Very young children usually have not yet developed the ability to think abstractly. So by adding materials that mimic or mirror what's happening in the book, we're giving them the opportunity to play with the book with a really hands-on experience outside their heads so that later on, when they're older, they can bring that world to life inside their head abstractly, like we all do when we read a great book. So here's just a little example. This book is called Leaf Man. It's all about nature. It's a beautiful book. By giving children the ability to have some natural materials on hand, it helps them feel like they're experiencing the action inside the book.
And something just so simple. I mean, this looks so inviting. I just want to, grab it right away and kind of experiment with it. You can, again, it's all about just an invitation and providing the opportunity. You're not saying, here you go, make a leaf man, right? That's very different than kind of almost just even if you had this out beside them and while you were reading, maybe they were playing it with while you're reading the book.
Yeah,
right?
and we always say, at Elemental Play, we always say, play while you read and read while you play. This is a perfect example, and I love the way you said that. This is a perfect example of reminding children and grown-ups that just by exploring and experimenting in an open-ended way while you read, you're building that really important real-world connection to the imaginary world that's happening inside a book.
Those are our 5 multisensory tips for today to help your child get more excited and engaged in your reading experiences at home. We hope they are as easy and joyful to implement as they are here to share, and we look forward to sharing even more tips with you in the future. If you'd like to hear more about us, we would love for you to check out elementalplay.com so you can learn more about our book club subscription and how every month we send you one amazing picture book, just like some of these, chock full of ways to bring it to life in your home in a multisensory way, again, to really help your child fall in love with reading and do a lot of learning and a lot of fun playing along the way.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.